Hi, and welcome to another new episode of Orangeline. I'm your host, Kelsey Epperson. We're going to go ahead and start the show off where Alix Schiraldi went to Mungano's 30th annual candlelight vigil. Here's more.
Mungano is a multicultural organization on campus who seeks to educate students about diversity. This past Sunday, they held their 30th annual candlelight vigil to install the 2010-2011 executive officers.
Our new exec board consists of me, I'll be the president, Katie Mercer, she's currently in Australia, she'll be our vice president. Lauren Brightup, she is our secretary. Kelley Jenkins is our historian, and Siobhan Brown is our treasurer.
One of the officers for next year, historian Kelley Jenkins, will be responsible for educating people about the history of Mungano.
In 1969, Dr. Jessie Maitland was the first African-American professor here at Baker, and he, along with 10 other students, and the help of Mr. John Naroji, started Mungano.
Dr. John Naroji spoke to the new and old officers, giving words of encouragement for the upcoming year.
To always look back, not looking for the arguments, but to see whether there is somebody back there that you may give a hand.
In the closing of the lighting ceremony, officers, friends, and visitors marched around campus singing songs to remember those who fought for civil rights. This has been Alix Schiraldi, KNBU-TV.
Thanks for that, Alex. Up next, Chris Atlakson has a story about the Baker football staff and two of their players and what they did last weekend.
The Baker University coaching staff had the honor of coaching a senior team in the NAIA Senior Classic. The Senior Classic is where they take select seniors within the NAIA and put them together to form two senior teams in which they are to compete against each other.
It was an honor, this is the first time a staff from Baker had that opportunity. And, it was a good experience for everybody. We have a couple new guys on staff, a couple real young coaches, and it gave us an opportunity to work together in a game-type situation before we jump into it in the fall.
I was good because I knew everything. I didn't really have much to learn. I could just go out there and play. So.
Three Baker University football players had the privilege of competing in the Senior Classic. Unfortunately, Mac Brown, multiple football record holder at Baker University, was not able to compete in the game, but running back Richie Bryant was, alongside teammate cornerback Rodney Harris.
It was a great experience. There was a lot of great guys there. Met a lot of people. It was a, overall fun experience. So.
Unfortunately, the Baker University coaching staff was unable to coach out a win, falling to the other senior team 34-21.
It's difficult to get a group of guys, even though they're elite athletes, to teach them on offense and defense in 24 hours and play a game and try to be competitive and to showcase their talents the way it should be.
Unlucky mistakes hindered their performance, which led to their defeat.
And just could not get a break. We had a return that was going for a touchdown. Our kid fumbled. Otherwise, we go on top, and then we had two drop touchdown passes.
Feel free to stop by the alumni game, where football players like Mac Brown and Derek Dorfler will be competing against the Baker University football players as alumni. This has been Chris Atlakson for KNBU-TV.
Thanks for that, Chris. And you can catch more of the football team this Saturday as they play in their spring alumni football game in the afternoon. Up next, we have our question of the week, where we ask students what they think about the NFL draft.
I thought the draft was pretty cool. The Chiefs picked up a good player, Eric Berry. I thought he was a pretty good safety in college. And also, Tim Tebow, I'm really looking forward to see what he's going to do for the Broncos.
I thought the Kansas City Chiefs got some good drafts, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do this year because they need it. But I also saw Tim Tebow get drafted to the Broncos, so I'm excited to see what he does. He's a good quarterback.
I thought the 2010 draft went well. My favorite team is the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought the most interesting pick in the NFL draft was Tim Tebow going to Denver, because I didn't feel like Denver needed a quarterback. They just picked up two good quarterbacks, and we'll just see how that turns out.
feel like the Cardinals should have picked up more players, you know, even though Kurt Warner, you know, about his retirement and stuff. So, you know, hopefully the Cardinals pick up a few more draft picks.
Personally, I thought Jimmy Clausen was the best NFL-ready quarterback coming out of college, and he ended up going in the second round, late second round, which was surprising to me considering Tim Tebow, who I thought should have been a third round, maybe even a fourth round pick, got picked up by the Broncos in the 26th spot.
I really only watched the first round because after that, the scrubs. I kind of felt bad for Colt McCoy. I thought he would get drafted earlier, but Tebow got picked first round, number 25 pick, so that was good. He's pretty hot, so.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but stay tuned because up next, our own Patrick Mirch is sitting in studio with Student Senate President Warren Swenson.
Hi, and welcome back to Orangeline. I'm Patrick Mirch, and I'm sitting here with Warren Swenson, the new Student Senate President. Warren, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So what got you interested in running for the Student Senate President?
Well, having served this past year on Student Senate, I gained some insight on how important I think that the students' governing body is, and I think that it deserves strong leadership, and I think that I'm in a position to give that and to continue some of the leadership that we've had in the past.
What did you do whenever you heard about you getting the Student Senate President spot?
Well, I breathed a sigh of relief. I was glad that I had gotten it, and I immediately started to think about what I would do and how I would go about my new role.
Okay. How does it feel being a freshman and having such a high position in the Student Senate?
Well, it's really an honor to be entrusted with this responsibility, and I think being young and being enthusiastic and having this position as a sophomore next year will help me to really lead effectively.
So what are some of your goals as Student Senate President for next year?
Well, the way I see it, the job of the Student Senate is to work for the students and with the administration. So I think a main goal for me would be strong communication between the student body and the administration, and facilitating good communication there, keeping students informed, and exploring other ways to further our effective communication habits.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for coming in and doing this interview. Up next, Kelsey takes a look at the Spiking Out volleyball tournament that was hosted by SIGEP and Alpha Chi this past weekend.
The 9th annual Spiking Out volleyball tournament was held last weekend, April 24th, hosted by Sigma Phi Epsilon and Alpha Chi Omega. Several teams composed of a variety of Greeks, independents, alumni, friends, and even a few adults helped raise money for a good cause. Sophomores Leah Doromal, Alpha Chi's Vice President for Fraternity Relations, and Eric Reimer, SIGEP's Program Chair, organized the event.
We had about 17 teams and raised about $800, which is a lot more in the past, so it went really well.
Spiking Out raised money through team entry fees, a raffle of donated prizes, and through hot dog, chip, and drink sales. All proceeds were raised towards each Greek house's philanthropies.
We raised money for both of our philanthropies, and ours is the Walla Domestic Violence Center, which goes to victims of domestic violence, and then Sigma Phi Epsilon's philanthropy, which is Youth AIDS, and that goes to the Douglas County Youth AIDS Project.
Not only did students sign up to show support towards a good cause, but also for the fun atmosphere and heated competition.
Well, I mean, you can hear the laughter. It's a good time out here. I mean, we're all out here for a good cause, for spiking out domestic violence, which is awesome. Which is a great social atmosphere, I'd say.
I signed up for this event because I am part of the house, and it's a great event. Meet people, have a lot of fun.
After a long day and evening of tournament play, a team composed of SIGEP freshmen took the reign as the 2010 Spiking Out champions.
Congratulations to Sigma Phi Epsilon and Alpha Chi Omega for their successful Spiking Out event. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but stay tuned because up next, Rena Murphy has a story about a benefit concert that was held this last weekend by two Greek organizations.